Choosing the right motherboard if you want to build a PC based on AM5 is actually extremely simple. And now this doesn't mean that all those videos, like the ones the guys at Hardware Unbox make, are useless. But those videos are 50 minutes. In this video, which is going to be under 10, I'm going to tell you pretty much how to choose the right motherboard for your PC. Because let's be honest, the real quality of VRMs and how the PCB is made and the little updates in the branding aren't really gonna matter for most people if you're just buying a motherboard for yourself. So let's get started. Now, first of all, some hard fruits. No matter if you're getting a Ryzen 7 9800X3D, the best gaming CPU on the market, or if you're getting a Ryzen 5 8400F, the worst CPU on the market, arguably, in both cases, an X870 is probably wasted money and a B650 is probably the best choice for you. Now let me explain. On AM5, the VRM quality, which is what determines how well your CPU can do in overclocking and just everyday running, is not tied directly to the chipset. Meaning, I could get a B650 with better VRMs than an X870, and that actually happens pretty often. Now, why am I saying B650 and not B850? Is because B850 is basically A620 refreshed. Now, allow me to explain. Basically, since AMD made it compulsory for every single motherboard from the B650 onwards to have a BIOS flashback button, you can buy a motherboard from the previous gen without losing any feature. Because, let's be honest, the only feature you're missing is the extra USB connectivity, which you're getting on X870 and X870E, and you're probably not gonna use that because most cases don't have the new standard. Now, I made a dedicated video about X870 and X670E and explaining why in general the E chipset I find is pretty useless. So in case you're considering one of those motherboards, you can go take a look at that. But in short, the reason why you would buy an E chipset is if you need PCIe Gen 5. So if you don't need a Gen 5 SSD, you wanna buy basically a B650. And yes, the conclusion is actually pretty straightforward. Some of you actually may wanna buy an A620. The problem with A620 is you cannot do tuning in the BIOS. So on this channel, we focus on doing CPU overclocking, CPU undervolting, RAM overclocking, and well, you cannot use Precision Boost Overdrive, PBO, on A620. So if you're planning on doing undervolting, which you should, or if you're planning on overclocking your RAM better, you can't buy an A620. That's why B650 is good. The only difference between B650 and X870 is more PCIe lanes, technically more USBs on the back, but more on that later, and Gen 5 on your NVMe drive. So if you don't use your Gen 5 drive, the only thing which you need to be looking at is the connectivity on the back of your motherboard. When you're choosing your motherboard, you need to have a budget and you need to go and look at what you need. Figure out how many USB 3 you need and how many USBs in general you need. Figure out if you need an optical output on the back of your motherboard and figure out if you need 2 LAN ports. Once we have those characteristics in mind, just go on whatever retailer you're buying from, Amazon, Newegg, whatever it is, go there and look at the motherboards in the B650 chipset that have those options. If you're somebody who needs Gen 5 NVMe drive, then I would actually recommend an X870 or an X670. I would actually recommend the X670 because you get more PCIe lanes there than you get on X870. That's why people were so mad when this launched. But if you don't need the expandability and you don't need the extra drives, I don't see why you would buy this. It's literally wasted money. People would think that for a Ryzen 9 9950X, 16 cores, 32 threads, you need this, but you actually need a B650 with very good VRMs, unless you need Gen 5 drives and the extra connectivity. Pretty simple. Now, let's say you do need Gen 5 drives and the extra connectivity. What would I recommend you buy? Well, I would buy an X670, and the only one I would recommend otherwise is an X870E. If you need Gen 5, you need the extra connectivity, and you have no budget because you're rich. In that case, X870E is your friend. You should go ahead and get one. But even there, what I have here, even though this is a motherboard I wouldn't really recommend to most people, it's a ROG Strix X870P gaming Wi-Fi. This one has more connectivity than the MSI TI Edge X870E. So if you want to buy a motherboard for the USB Gen 3, you're better off buying a higher end motherboard from a lower end chipset. For example, a Strix X870, a Strix B650, and so on. Or really from any brand, just a premium motherboard that's going to give you the better I/O support. Now you also want to make sure that, of course, if your case has a USB-C, your motherboard has a USB-C internal and all those little things. But really, this is basically it. If you care about RAM overclocking, then you should buy an ITX motherboard, because the shorter the distance between the socket and the actual RAM, the better the overclocking is going to be. But jokes aside, if you care about RAM overclocking, any motherboard is going to be fine. But if you're going to buy a higher end X870, it's going to run a bit better. Also, if you're planning on doing overclocking the good old fashioned way, you want a motherboard with beefy VRMs. But this brings me to the last point of my video, and that is, if you're buying even a Ryzen 7 9800X3D, if you are not planning on overclocking this hard, and if you just want to undervolt it, which is still going to give you extra performance, or you want to run it at stock, you don't really have to care about VRMs. And now this is something I'm probably going to get a few comments disagreeing with me, but please write them, because I love to have a healthy discussion in the comments, and it's also what this channel is about, so you guys can discuss what I say in the comments and maybe tell me if I'm wrong. In my experience, having tried probably 60 to 70 AM5 CPUs in different PCs, even the cheapest B650 out there, and I mean literally the cheapest, I tried a Chinese B650 from Jingyue, and even that could handle a Ryzen 7 9900X3D, no problem. So you need to start to worry about the VRMs and go watch those in-depth reviews which are on the internet if you're buying a Ryzen 9 or higher. If you're buying a Ryzen 7 or under, then you just need to buy whatever motherboard fits your budget, looks cool for you, and has the connectivity you need from the B650 chipset, or if you want a new motherboard, or if the price is low in your country, an X870. Don't buy B850, please. Don't buy A620, unless you don't care about overclocking, then you can buy it. And don't waste money on higher end chipsets. And this, guys, is the end of my guide on how to buy a motherboard on AM5. And nothing, guys. Let me know down below what you think about it. Let me know if you have a few picks of your favorite motherboards. And to conclude, the reason why I don't think there is a perfect recommendation is also, in the world, pricing varies a lot. So you need to know how to determine if a motherboard is good. You can't just watch a video that tells you it's the best value, because the price may be different to where you live. Or there may be discounts. So you need to evaluate the motherboard yourself. And with that said, if you watched the video this far, maybe drop a like and subscribe, or maybe tell me in the comments that I don't know what I'm talking about. And maybe you're right. And see you guys in the next one, maybe. Bye-bye.